Hey everyone, today I want to show you how to make this crocheted stocking ornaments. In order to make these stocking ornaments, you're going to need a tapestry needle to weave in your ends. You're going to need some scissors to cut your yarn, obviously. You're going to need a crochet hook. This is a size F, which is a 3.75 millimeter. And then you're going to need your yarn. I bought these little Lion Brand bonbons in the Jingle Bells colorway because I thought that they were really cute and I thought they would work for these ornaments. So you don't need all of these, though you can of course make a bunch of different ones, but for just one you of course don't need the whole thing. For this one I'm just going to be using the solid red and the white with the metallic red through it. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. The first thing that you're going to need to do is to make a magic circle, magic ring. So you just wrap the yarn like that. Go under this side, over this side, pull through, bring the loop up. And then we are going to chain 2. And then you're going to do 12 double crochets into the circle. We're not counting the turning chain. Or this instance, it's not actually turning, but we're not counting those chain 2. So just go ahead and do that. A double crochet, just in case you aren't aware, is yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through. So you should have 3 loops. Yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2. And that's a double crochet. I'm going to go ahead and finish up the 12, and I will come back at the end and show you where to join. Okay, I have finished my 12 double crochet, and what you need to do is just pull to close that ring. And then we are going to join at the top of the first double crochet you did. Not the chain, so not that, but the top of the actual stitch, the first double crochet stitch you did. So you just pull through and pull through here. There you go. You pull that tight again. Now you're going to chain 2. Again, this chain up does not count. We're not turning either. You are going to double crochet into the same stitch that you slip stitched into. This yarn is a little splitty, so if you're using the same yarn I am, be careful. And I did want to mention, if you are using a different yarn than I am, you can just use a hook that's sort of an appropriate size to get the size you want and the fabric you want. Okay, and I did not show that, but we are going to be doing 1 single crochet into every stitch all the way around, so you should have a total of 12 when you're done, not including the chain, which I'm going to go ahead and just work my way around. And then I'll be back. So I'm back at the end of the round. Now it's starting to form up like this, so the tail from the beginning should sort of be on the inside, and if it's not, then go ahead and just sort of tuck it in like that. I've done 12 double crochets. To close the round, you are going to slip stitch into the top of the first double crochet that you did, not the chain, but the actual double crochet, or the double crochet. So like that. And then round 3, so the next round, is going to be exactly the same. We chain 2, you do 1 double crochet into each stitch around, join with a slip stitch at the first double crochet, which I'm going to go ahead and do. And then when we come back, And again, you're going to work that first double crochet into the same stitch that you slip stitched into. But when I come back, I'm going to show you what to do to sort of make it start looking like a stocking. Okay, I finished up. I just did the slip stitch, and now you can see you've got what starts to look like a little tiny toe of a sock. In order to make the stocking, what we have to do is sort of create that heel part. So we are going to double crochet. I'm sorry, we're going to chain 2. We're basically creating a heel flap. So go ahead and double crochet, or go ahead and chain 2, then double crochet into the same stitch that you slip stitched into. Be careful not to split the yarn, which I think I did. Okay. And then you are going to double crochet into the next stitch 5 more times. So you should have a total of 6 double crochet stitches when you are done. So not including that chain, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, now we are going to chain 2 and we're going to turn. For this little heel flap, we are going to be counting, for this row at least, we're going to be counting the chain 2 as a stitch. So you are going to double crochet into the next stitch. So at this point, because we're counting it, that's 2. And I do know, depending on what your gauge is, you may want to chain 3. That's usually the traditional number to do when you're doing a double crochet. But for my gauge, for some reason, it just doesn't look as even. So I always just chain 2. I should have mentioned that first, but. Okay, and then the last one is going to be worked into the top of the first double crochet that you did. There you go. So including the turning chain, you've got 6. Now we are going to do what, when you're knitting a sock, it's called turning a heel. And basically it's just so that way you can work back in the round. But you're going to chain 2 and you're going to turn. And now what we're going to do is we're going to basically decrease all of these stitches except the last one. So this is going to count for this row again, but then we're going to decrease, 4 into 1. So yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Don't split the yarn. You should have 3 there. Yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, and pull through 2. Yarn over, insert your hook into the top of the double crochet, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, and pull through 2. And then you're going to yarn over and pull through all of the loops you've got left. And then we're going to do one last stitch into the top of the turning chain. So yarn over, and see there's the turning chain. You can see the V's. And just, you can either go under the V's or under the V in the back stitch, which is what I'm going to do. Okay. So you've got something that looks a little weird, but it'll work, trust me. Okay, so we are going to be working stitches into the side of this little flap that we've created. Besides this one, you should have 4 before we get to the part where we're going to sort of cinch this little thing in, the little corner in. So just try to work evenly, and if you look, you can sort of place where you need to go, because you're kind of working into the sides of the stitches. But the first one I'm going to put right here. Try to get under at least 2 of the loops. And we're going to move down. Then we are going to, I know where like the stitches that I want to go here are going to be. There's going to be one here and one here. So I have 2 stitches left to make. So I'm going to do one here and one here. Sometimes when you're working through this, like on the side of a piece of fabric, it's, you know, it can be a little bit tricky because you don't want, you know, you want them to be even, but sometimes you can't always make them exactly perfect, but it all usually works out, so it's okay. Okay, so not including the chain, you should have 4 double crochets. And now we're going to do a decrease right there at the corner. So you are going to yarn over and insert your hook here. Yarn over, pull through. Let's split that yarn again. There we go. Yarn over and pull through 2. Sorry, I had split the yarn. And now we're going to yarn over and insert our hook here into that corner right there. And then finish the decrease. Okay. And now you should be able to work even. So you're not doing, you know, you're working into the tops of these stitches. And it should be 6 stitches that you're doing into. Just 1 double crochet a piece. So I've got the decrease there at the corner, and then I've got 6 stitches. And now we're going to do a decrease again. So you yarn over, insert your hook there. Yarn over, pull through. Yarn over, pull through 2. And then we're going to work into the side of this fabric on this side. So yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, and then yarn over and pull through all 3. And then you've done your decrease on that side as well. Okay, and now we're going to work our way back to the beginning, to where you did the chain, and so you should have, you should be able to get 4 double crochets in on this side as well. Sometimes if you're having a really hard time with placement, you may want to use some stitch markers. I would do that sometimes if it's quite important when, you know, if it's even. So you can just use like some removable stitch markers in order to make sure that everything is getting even. All right, sorry about that. I went under all of the stitches, and you don't want to do that. It can create like a kind of a gap. Okay, and you can see there's the chain. There's the base of it. So the last one I'm going to do is going to be worked right there next to that. Alright, then we're going to slip stitch to join. This time we will be slip stitching into the turning chain. So just, you can either go through both loops, or I like to go through the loop, the top of the V and the back loop. Slip stitch. There you go. Okay, and there you go. You can see that it's starting to kind of take shape. At this point, if you want to go ahead and weave in the end, or if you're going to weave in the end, you need to do it now. It's going to be much easier for you to turn this inside out and secure it. I'm not actually planning on placing anything inside of this, so I feel like as long as it's tight, I'm going to go ahead and just leave it in there. It's an ornament, and it's, you know, for me, so I'm not too worried about it. Now you are going to go ahead and chain 2. And if you weave in the ends, that's fine. But we are going to double crochet into the next stitch. The yarn's getting away from me. And then you're going to double crochet once into the next 2 stitches. Okay, so now you've got the chain, you've got 3 double crochets, and now we're going to do another decrease stitch. So you yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. Then you're going to yarn over, and then you should be inserting your hook into the top of the decrease you did in the last round. So you insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, and pull through 2. Then yarn over and pull through the 3. And then we're going to work the front stitches, do 1 double crochet into each of them, should be 6. Okay. And now we're going to do another decrease stitch. The first one that you yarn over and insert your hook into should also be the top of that decrease. Okay. Then do 1 double crochet into the next 3 stitches. Of course, not splitting the yarn again. That's going to be the running theme of this one, I think. Okay, and then we are going to join in the top of the turning chain. And then we're going to join with a slip stitch into the top of the chain. Again, if you find that your chains, like your chain ups, are a little too tight or something like that, you may want to go ahead and chain 3 at the beginning of each round. Which maybe I should have for this one, but because I'm using a much smaller hook than I tend to use. Okay, see, you've got a little sock. Isn't that cute? Okay, we're going to chain 2 or 3 if you want to, and then you're going to be doing a double crochet into each stitch around. So that's 14 stitches, 15 total, including the chain. And I'm going to go ahead and do that for 2 rounds, and then I'm going to come back and show you where to change the color, since I'm going to do the very top as a contrasting color. But you can, of course, do it however you like, if you want to stripe it or whatever. But I'll be back when I'm at that point. Okay, so I have done 2 rounds almost fully, and I am getting ready to do the last double crochet. of the stitch. So before you finalize that, we're going to go ahead and switch the yarn. So I just hold it like that over the hook and pull through. And you can go ahead and cut the red yarn. And then we are going to slip stitch into the top of the chain, 2. Okay. Now that part's going to be a little loose, so I'm going to just pull it snug. Okay. And then we're going to do the same thing for this round as we did for the last 2. Just chain 2 and work 1 double crochet into the next 14 stitches. Except this time we're using sparkly yarn. And I'll go ahead and I'll finish that up, and I'll show you how to make the little loop so you can hang it up. Okay, we're back at the end. And we're just going to slip stitch in the top of the turning chain. Okay, now normally you'd go ahead and bind off, but what we're going to do is we're going to do chains so that way there's a little loop. So 3, 4, so I've chained 16, and you can just sort of test it and see if that's the length of loop you want. If you want it longer, of course, chain more. If you want it shorter, chain less. When you are done with the number of chains that you want, you are going to go back and slip stitch into the top of that same stitch that you were just slip stitching into. And then we are going to bind off cut the yarn, and then we're going to weave in the ends. And the only one that you really kind of need to be careful with is probably where you changed your yarn. But I'm going to go ahead and weave in the ends so that way it looks a little nicer, and show you what it looks like when it's all finished, but you can sort of get an idea. I wanted to show you, I wasn't, you know, when you're weaving in the ends, you don't have to be super duper careful or anything like that. All I did was just kind of make sure that the ends were going to go down and they weren't long enough to pop out, so you just have to secure them a little bit on the inside, and you don't want them to show on the outside. There you go, you've got your ornaments. These are really, really cute. I think that you can make them with like stripes, whatever you want to do. I think that you can just make them in a variety of colors and they'll be really cute as well. Alright, let me know if you make them. I'd love to hear what you guys think, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!